Live again. There we go. Technical itch on, I would say, operator error. I do always say to double check everything. Let me know where you guys are watching from, and we have got an amazing competition today. You can win an amazing exclusive gift if you comment in today's show. You'll see we've got the lottery jar here. Every time you comment, your name will get put in there, and a winner will be picked for an exclusive custom Be Live mug. Not only that, we've also got amazing discounts on Be Live to celebrate Be Live's birthday, because Be Live is 7, which means Be Live is a Libra just like me and our guest. So do make him feel very welcome as well. He is an amazing influencer, and he's going to be sharing his story with you and giving you tips about how you can become an influencer too. But before we do that, let me just pop up this quick link to Be Live. That is there. And also, runwithryan.org is his website. Do check him out after the show. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, then do remember to comment on that. So please, without further ado, let me give him his proper introduction. 25 years in the modeling industry. That's 26 years more than me. Ryan combined his passion for style, health, adventure to create runwithryan.org. This platform isn't about fitness. It's a holistic journey of well-being, luxury travel, and men's grooming, an embodiment of the modern man's pursuit for excellence. That's runwithryan.org. Please make him feel very welcome. There he is. Ryan, welcome back.
Hey, Grant.
There we go. Yeah, I feel like a deja vu. Yeah, you look really familiar.
Have we done this before?
Exactly. Yeah. So for those people that don't know, just quickly tell people who you are and what you do.
Yeah, sure. My name is Ryan Young. Thank you for having me. It's great to join you all. Yeah, like you said, I started modeling in my teenage years early on, 25 years now plus in the industry. But where do I begin? A decade plus ago, there I was kind of sitting in these casting rooms here in LA for the most part, kind of doing that modeling, commercial acting, grunt work. And a lot of that is waiting around and waiting for other people to say yes, yes, you're the right fit for this part, whatever it is, you're hired, you're booked. And I was sitting in those rooms realizing like I could be off doing something else much more productive right now. And that was just about the same time where I'd first stepped on a treadmill. I was not a runner at all, but gave myself this little bit of a new challenge to kind of run for 7 days in a row and see if I can make it. So I was in the thick of that, and I was like, oh, I could be out for a run right now. I could be doing something. And yeah, through the course of it, I developed what you were just explaining to the audience now, runwithryan.org, really as my general platform where I cover travel and adventure, health, wellness, and of course some running, and then men's style and fashion.
Mm. Yeah. It's such a great niche to be in as well. I've only recently kind of discovered that kind of the difference that, you know, looking good, feeling good, eating good, actually the difference it makes on your mental health and everything is absolutely fantastic. What would you say are the first steps to kind of building that influencer worthy online presence?
Sure. I'm always a big advocate for starting in that holistic sense. And to me, that is knowing yourself the best you can. And I know that's always an ongoing process, but what are the things you enjoy speaking about, talking about? What are your passions? Where do they lie? What might you have an authority? You know, like what might you be an authority about? Is it cooking? You know, whatever it is. And that helps to define and create our niche. Because we can't be everything to all people all at once. So it's better to find what it is that we enjoy speaking about, we enjoy talking about. That will help inform the content that we put out there, and to help build the audience. The second thing, I think, in those first steps, I know for me, I gave myself the homework of committing to post once a day. And I mean,
Mm.
this was Instagram 2011, 2012, maybe. So I started really young in the tech genre that we all are beholden to now. But yeah, I gave myself that homework of post one picture a day.
Mm.
And so that helped build the habit within me to post and to create what I like to think is higher quality work. Um, and it helped to build the audience in those initial days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We mentioned it as well, but it's good for especially people getting into that habit of having that kind of public accountability of I know when I started gym posting, if I didn't post a selfie at the gym, I then got comments about you've lost track sort of thing. So it kept me accountable. So yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, still to this day, I'll whether I run outside or go to the gym, I'll post after my run. Not every day, but I'll post and like, oh, 5, 8 miles done, whatever. And that just helps generate. Yeah, I guess often I get very, very nice comments about how inspiring it is, but it actually helps me too,
Mm.
because, like you said, it holds me accountable. And then I actually see, I'm inspired hearing the little bit I know about your story, and you kind of changing up your body and how you feel
Yeah.
now. Because we all need inspiration, we all need motivation. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's it. It's you talk about the wellness and the holistic journey. It is about that mindset of stuff as well. Quick shout out as well for Chris. Chris, fantastic. And you're in the lottery jar, Chris. Every time anybody comments or makes a suggestion in the comment section, you go into that lottery jar where we will be picking a winner in this show, where you'll win a custom Be Live mug, as well as all sorts of other stuff that we've got going on during the show as well. You mentioned posting every day on Instagram. What platforms are currently best for a budding influencer, do you think, for starting out? I believe you were using Amazon Live?
Yeah. I still think Instagram is a good, solid place, even though, uh, yeah, there's so much, there's many more choices to pick from.
Mm.
But yeah, Instagram is really still my base. I dabble a little bit in TikTok and whatnot, but yeah, like you just mentioned, I am loving using Amazon Live
Mm.
for a multitude of reasons. Um, you know, Amazon has a program. It actually is, I think it's called the Amazon Influencer Program,
Yeah.
where I've set up a storefront there. I post pictures and content, video, and live chats, which is what I love, because I love creating that community and having the ability to say, like, hey, Chris, hey, Steven, thank you guys for joining us. I'm really, really glad you're here. And so it helps create more of a dialogue as opposed to just blasting out a post or whatnot. And part of that Amazon Live story on my end is how I found Be Live. I probably went through 6, 8 months of looking around and trying to learn the different tools and whatnot and third party platforms, but nothing has really made it as easy to use or as easy to stream, especially to Amazon Live, as Be Live has. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's that authenticity you get with live streaming that really helps.
Yeah, that's definitely definitely it for me. In that, yeah, in having that community to bounce ideas off, or to have some comments and to feed back and forth. I get to share, or we get to share, what it is we love that we're doing, or what it is we want to talk about. But then I think all of us, no matter who we are, even if it's not in the digital creation realm or influencing realm, we all like to feel like we're giving some value.
Yeah.
And so to have some questions coming in, or some comments, it creates more of a discussion as opposed to a top down conversation.
Yeah. And that's the great thing with live, is you get that instant feedback via the comments. You get to understand what your audience really wants to know as well. How do you balance authenticity with brand partnerships?
Interesting question. So I've got a pretty solid grip on what I perceive my brand to be. And part of that is I keep a dream list of clients that I would love to work with. Some days I'm much more proactive than at others, where some days I'm actually actively reaching out, trying to make that happen. Other days, not so much. And then there's days where, yeah, I will get, say, like general inquiries from clients like, hey, would you like to work with us? And I kind of take each one on its face of does it fit within the brand that I'm trying to create and where I'd like to go. That being said, sometimes there's just, you need an easy paycheck. So once in a while those come around and there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's what, like hashtag ad is for, I guess.
Exactly.
Just as long as we're transparent with our audience.
Yeah.
I'm also a big advocate. One other thing on that is, excuse me, of trying to not necessarily have a one-off post or a one-off kind of collab with a client, but really turning it into a longer relationship, if possible over months, because then, I know that I genuinely like the product, whatever it is, and the client. And because I'm being true to myself, true to the brand, that bleeds through to the audience, to the community, and that just builds trust. And that's good for me, it's good for the audience, and it's good for the brand. So
I must admit, I mean, Stephen, who's in the comment section, he was one of the first guys that I kind of saw on Amazon Live, and kind of, seeing him and how he was with the products that he uses. It makes so much of a difference when someone is selling a product that they believe in versus one that they just, they've been sent, if you know what I mean. So I remember the first time I got sent something, I was over the moon. And then when it came, it was let's just say, not the most premium brand possible. And it was very quickly, I thought, I don't want to associate my brand with this particular brand. So you learn that quite quickly, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. I forget what network it was on, but there's a cable show or something about a young woman who gets a job, her dream job, working at like a home shopping network kind of show, and she becomes a host. And one of the things she learns, it's actually really well, I can't think of the name of it, really well done, it's really funny, but she learns it's not about the product, it's about how we use the product, or how it makes us feel, or the experience, or the memories. And I know in my Amazon live chats, when I'm talking about, to your point, when I'm talking about something that I actually have a connection to, that comes across in an entirely different way, as opposed to, hey, here's a pen, like, and so I guess that's really the ultimate, those would be the ultimate clients, or the ultimate deals to kind of find.
Absolutely. What tools or strategies boosted your audience engagement, and what are the key ways influencers can monetize their presence?
Tools that have boosted my engagement. Definitely going live. Yeah, for sure. Because we are in an age where, like we've been talking about, like you and I are doing, like we all have our phones in front of us, and we've spent the past decade doing that, and we're still doing that. But I think in that, we're also realizing, even if it's subconsciously, we want to have conversations. And in having those conversations, that builds engagement just by its very nature of putting yourself out there, getting feedback, getting some comments, getting questions. Going live has been very helpful. Also, kind of staying on top of trends. And I guess what I mean by that is, what are the trends that make sense for us to use. So say on something like Instagram, when polls first came out, posting a poll in a story, like that will boost engagement just because people want to feel like they're involved.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about going live is it does make people involved. Yeah, I think the comment section is sponsored by Shocks. So yeah, I must admit, when Stephen was demonstrating his Shocks, it was the first time I'd discovered these. Stephen will know them. They're headphones that don't go in your ears; they go onto your head, and the vibrations appear in your ears.
Oh, I still have to check them out.
Yeah, exactly. And so yes,
There's
whenever I
Stephen.
see them, it always reminds me of Stephen. So again, that's good about that brand familiarity. Once you hear certain language patterns and products, it reminds you of particular streamers and influencers. So yeah, cool.
Yeah.
How do you tackle challenges like negative feedback? I think this is one of the biggest barriers that a lot of people face about going, not just online, but especially going live. They're thinking they're going to get kind of haters or trolls. How do you handle those types of challenges?
Yeah. It's continually an ongoing process, forever and forever. Just when I think I'm really good at it and nothing negative will bother me, something will pop up and it will bother me. I guess I'm lucky insofar as in those 25 years in the modeling industry, while I had some nice success, what people don't see are the 80% of the times the castings you go out and you hear no, or you don't hear anything. And that is just rejection on itself. And so I've kind of developed, I'm a very sensitive guy, but I've developed a little bit of a thicker skin in that most things will bounce off of me. I also think it's important to, this is something I've learned very recently. For me, it's important to recognize there's maybe 3 to 5 people who I trust wholeheartedly, so completely that when they give me negative feedback, it's a constructive critique that I can use as opposed to just quite frankly, a rude comment usually, and that will just be a delete, or if it's just nasty enough, a block, something like that. But yeah, I try not to engage with that so much. Is generally I try to create a healthy, positive, forward-looking platform across all of my content. So yeah,
that makes loads of sense. And guys, if you have any questions for Ryan as well, please do drop them into the comment section. This is your opportunity to pick his brains right now, and you have a chance of winning that custom Be Live mug. So what top 3 tips would you give someone aspiring to monetize their content as an influencer? Or what do you wish you'd have been taught in the beginning?
Oh, good. I think it is, what do I wish I would have been taught at the beginning? That everything doesn't need to be perfect in my mind. And the pursuit of excellence stops us from beginning, or at least has in my case many times. So, and I think that kind of goes back to something you touched on in your last question. Yeah, like I knew that I wanted to go live or start going live for a long time, but I had it in that self-doubt playing in my head of, well, I see other people doing it and it looks flawless. It's great. They know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's okay. That's actually part of the journey. It's part of the fun if we allow ourselves to recognize where we are and allow ourselves the process of learning new things. And so, yeah, one of those would be, taking that into the realm of how do we monetize. I think it's important to try out new tools, try out new platforms, whether they're social media platforms or new abilities within each social media platform. I know, like, I was creating a list earlier this morning as I knew we were going to have a bit of this conversation. And I think every one of at least the major social media channels now offers some way to monetize. And there might be different thresholds to get there. But yeah, YouTube has, their way, and they recently lowered it. And Instagram now has subscriptions. I know they were doing bonuses for reels, and yeah, I know TikTok has a thing as well. So building up the base of audience to get to whatever thresholds is one way, but then also being proactive and really thinking of ourselves as small businesses, upstart businesses, creating that list of brands that you would really like to work with, sending a DM, putting together, like at first I put together, 10 years ago, I put together a little one sheet with a little, bio and some pictures, and what I was looking for, hoping for, and sending that out to, say, pick 5 ideal clients, seeing if you get any bites. And at first, you might work for free, and it might be an exchange of product for a post. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of the learning process and part of the growth to get to actual some money. Yeah.
Great tips. And all of the great thing I find with this stuff is, as you're doing this, you're just growing your own personal brand in the process. You are creating that content which can get picked up along the journey as well. But I love what you said there about kind of the like done being better than perfect. The reason why I gravitated to live streaming is when it comes to recording video, I would always struggle with it because I always kind of thought, that was a bit wrong. There was too many filler words, and going live for me is easier and more authentic. And so I could start going live and then edit from, kind of edit backwards from that.
Interesting.
So going live is easier because I know it's not perfect. As I make deliberate mistakes all the time, just to prove that. Brilliant. I'll just put up a link to the website again there. What kind of things can they find on runwithryan.org?
Sure. On runwithryan.org, we have all sorts of articles, like long form blog type articles, whether they are travel tips for particular cities or experiences. Some health articles as well. But it's not just written stuff. There's a lot of videos. My passion really is to be outrunning ultra long distances, whether it's 50 miles, 100 miles, 300 miles at a time over multiple days. And I will go out, and whether it's me filming or finding a crew along the way, find a crew along the way and really create these videos where I'm traveling through a space, learning about the people, the customs, the traditions, the history, that kind of thing. There's a bunch of content that fits all within travel, health and wellness, and then some men's style tips, some videos in that genre as well. So
fantastic. It's a great way to tell stories, is being online as an influencer, and I think people get behind that as well.
I love that you said that, because being here in Los Angeles, the entertainment capital and movies and all of that, I very quickly realized I've always loved telling stories, and while I was waiting in those casting rooms for the ability to, now I'm doing it as an influencer, as a digital creator on different terms. And it might look slightly different, but I am in control of what those stories are in a new, modern way. So,
absolutely. And it's I think it's just what makes social media and the internet such an amazing place to be. But I'm a believer that we are all, if you run a small business, we are all content creators. We do what we do in order to create content so that we can do what we do.
Yeah, no, you're entirely right. Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah,
I'll make the 3 first videos for free and then launch a pilot for the 4th to the 10th video. I need to do that because of the high production cost of the antique shows. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, yeah,
And it's good knowing your market as well and having that process in place as well.
yeah, totally. Yeah. And it's the confidence to know that, yeah, I can put something out there looking 4 or 5 steps ahead
Yeah.
to know that there will be some return from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's and again, it's a piece of advice that I heard from somebody else. So it's secondhand advice as such. And it was like, sometimes if you want to work with brands, rather than saying to them, "I'd like to work with you," this particular videographer friend of mine would create the commercial that he wants to create for them, and then show it to them, because then they've already got it, and then it's about working backwards from there. So
Yeah.
sometimes I think for people starting out, creating a video for that they would like to do for that particular brand, and then showcasing it to them.
I
They
think
might not buy it, but they may then go, "Oh, that's interesting," and then use you for something else.
no, total. I totally agree with that. Yeah, and I think part of why I find what I do or what we do to be exciting is because we're creatives at heart, and not everybody is. We all have different talents in other places. So sometimes it does make sense, exactly what you're saying, to show a prospective client more or less what a finished product might look like, because they might not necessarily have the imagination to think in the creative way that we do.
Exactly.
And it's just filling that need, or filling that, yeah, that gap. Yeah.
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 I always think it's like a lot of small businesses sit and aggressively wait for the phone to ring. Like sometimes you've just got to go out there and get it.
So true.
So let me just put it's BeLive's 7th birthday this week, so that makes BeLive a Libra just like myself and our amazing guest.
Amazing.
Because all the bests are Librans. It does give us that balance. So all week there is some amazing live streams, and there's some amazing giveaways from that as well. Use a discount code. I believe it is something like birthday grant, and you'll get a great discount if you sign up for BeLive. And also, if you've commented during tonight's stream, you've gone into this lottery jar here, and you're going to win a exclusive custom BeLive mug, just like the one that I had before I dropped it on the stairs a moment ago, which is the joys of going live. But before we draw the winner, because I like to build the anticipation up for that, don't forget the next live stream is going to be with Camille. There's a quick link to that there. From coaching to content creation. There'll be a link to the Facebook event in the comment section as well. Do check out Camille's stream. It's absolutely amazing. And we've got some amazing live streamers all the way through this week, and it's going to be cool with giveaways, prizes, discounts, and all sorts of stuff. And don't forget, make sure you comment on these streams as well, because you'll be in for your chance to win some more prizes as well. I'd say drum roll. If you're in the comment section, give us a drum roll emoji. But Ryan, on your count, I shall press the button and pick a winner. So you
right.
go, Ryan.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, bam.
Oh, well, BeLive can't win its own prize, so we'll go again. BeLive can't win its own prize, so we'll go. Chris.
There he is.
Chris, congratulations. You are the proud winner of the exclusive BeLive mug. No need for an acceptance speech. No tears are needed for this, but hopefully it will take pride or place. Drop us a message. Someone from the team will get your details and sort that out for you. Chris, one final plug for your website, which is runwithryan.org. Obviously, they can find you on social media, but just drop what are your links for Instagram.
It is Rye Young, R-Y Young.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get yourself an extra follower, which will be me. So that will be, I mean, that's the one you've been waiting for. That will just tip you over the edge there.
I appreciate it.
So, do you know what? It's again, I think, from what I've seen on your website, your journey, and your Instagram, I mean, you're in great shape. You absolutely walk your talk, and you're a nice guy with it too, which sometimes, being a model, a fitness influencer, and a handsome chap, sometimes that can, personality can suffer from that. But yeah,
an explosive mix.
Exactly. There we go.
Well,
Brilliant.
thank you. I appreciate, you giving me the opportunity to be here today. It's been a great conversation with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you very much from Be Live as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Ryan, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Grant.
Guys, do make sure you show him lots of love, and don't forget it is Be Live's 7th birthday. Join the streams all this week where we're going to have some amazing exclusive giveaways and prizes. Guys, take care.